Hello Gainers, Ralphie here on location with the third and final instalment of a small series entitled Visiting Dan in the Nut Glen. And we're still in the Nut Glen, the rain has gone off. It's become a little more milder and there's a lovely fresh smell of wood smoke in the environment round me, coming from a small wood-fired stove inside the house there, where Dan is making me a cup of herbal tea now that we've more or less finished recording. I hope you found this interesting, and importantly for me, I hope you find this inspiring, because as much as the world is changing so rapidly around us, it's important that we be open to change ourselves in understanding the variations and the diversity of lifestyles that people discover or deliberately make for themselves. And in doing so, we can compare it with our own lifestyles and learn from that engagement. And it's fascinating here in the Nut Glen with Dan, because he is living completely off the grid with a mobile phone which he recharges from solar cells, and that is basically it. He's built this house, one-bedroom house, very efficient, lined with reclaimed wood and very homely and cosy inside. Easy to clean because it's not a big space. We don't need a lot of space. And outside he has his vegetable plots, growing his kale, his parsnips, cabbages, squashes and beetroots and all the rest of it, and growing and sustaining himself as much as possible in what he has in the soil, literally in his front doorstep. And it's something that's takes a lot of courage to do this, but for those that discover the inner peace and the tranquility of life, free from the outward stresses of all the bombardments through the media around us, it is something very refreshing. And it's not a choice that many people would make at the moment, but it's one that is like a beacon, it's like a torch, showing that although that you and I might not necessarily want to go off grid ourselves, there's things that we can do in our lives to be more environmentally aware and to be more empowered custodians of the environment around us, for which we are responsible, and we are the keepers of this environment for the next generation and the next generation after that. And the fact is, around the world, there's too much rubbish and plastics being thrown in the oceans and the seas and in the rivers. There's too much landfill filling up the land and then being dressed over with topsoil and then forgotten about as the humanoid collective continues to waste and trash so much of which needn't be wasted and needn't be trashed. It can be recycled, it can be reclaimed, reworked, repackaged, represented in another usable way. And this is important. It's not something that was considered important in the old days, and I'm talking about even 5-10 years ago. But it's important now because we can see through the internet and the media the destruction of the environment, the global environment around us, and the threat that this poses to the quality of human life and ultimately to human life itself. There definitely needs to be a green consideration, and this is an initiative which is certainly being developed by people in power and with the money and the finances, but importantly, it has to be effective and coming from the grassroots, where individuals individually take responsibility to do a little bit, not something like big and sudden and dramatic, but do little things all the time that add up over time and have influence. And as much as our activities have influence in the world around us, it's like a mirror, reflects back in us, it has influence on us. Because we're custodians for the future, and we need to take that responsibility more seriously than ever before. And in being kind to the world, we are being kind to ourselves and kinder to those around us. I'm Ralphie. I commend this message. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I look forward to seeing you again shortly for another video. Saying goodbye at the moment from Dan's little plot here in the nut glen. Bye.